guys!
Oh, hey, guys!
Is Mecha.
An ace.
And Mecha.
An ace.
An ace.
And look at that stumpy little shiz.
Yeah, we're doing a Silent Hill monster. Haven't actually played it myself, but I love the aesthetic. And we recently got Ace to finish Gurren Lagann.
It was a good show.
It's a great show. We recently met the voice actor for Kamina, and I thought, what if we started making characters into Gurren Lagann mechas? Because if you've seen the show, you know the whole head thing and how kind of derpy a lot of the mechs are. And I was like, this could be fun. And I thought, who has a big shaped head?
It's Pyramid Head.
Yeah, it only makes sense.
You made him so stumpy looking, and I love it.
Well, and I was happy that I did the sketches at the game too, because I showed them like to our buddy Bandit and everyone. And a lot of people was like stumpy here. I was like, what do you mean? Like, you have a little bit of torso coming out. You don't want to see torso. You want pyramid and legs. I was like, I get you. And that's kind of what happened here. And similar to Siren Head, where I wanted to get a sense of scale, same kind of thing here. I wanted there to. It was hard posing him some, like to make an organic pose and not just like a T-pose model sheet, like
because we've been so used to like organic beings, drawing organic beings, then like a mech is just like. How do these parts fucking move? I don't think that's the problem,
because especially if you look, at least for Gurren Lagann, a lot of anime mechas, they're modeled mostly the same as human anatomy. Like, if you look at it, the arm parts are the same as like a bicep. For me, the biggest problem is just the fact that there's no spine on this. Because again, the pyramid head is one solid shape. Like in a lot of the Gurren Lagann mechs, you can like Gurren Lagann has all that torso. But for the Gurren Lagann mechs, the fact that the whole torso is just the head.
It's just Lagann.
Yeah.
Because that is a literal head.
Exactly. That's where I'm like, okay, how does freaking legs translate? Where's shoulders? This was what my first time, like, a building, like he's walking through Silent Hill. I was like, nah, that didn't look right. Because I wanted to make sure I knew what this pyramid head pose was going to be first, and then made the rough layout around him. And I think a little dude at the bottom looking up, just having that little teeny tiny guy being like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So, but I really like how he came out. The line work is basically, I use the straight edge tool a lot because again, mecha, hard shapes.
Stiffer movement too.
Yeah. Well, and also because that's also like Pyramid Head isn't necessarily super expressive. That's kind of the fear of him, is that he's just objective oriented. So that it was hard to make sure that as derpy as his shapes were, it still had that malicious intent kind of going on.
Yeah.
Also tried to make the knife a little bit more cyberpunky, I guess you'd say. Because the knife in the game is basically just a big old knife. Like, there's not a whole lot going on with it.
Big fucking chomper.
So I wanted to add some like pointless rivets and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just gonna go in a lot. It's one of those things where a lot of these details will kind of get covered up, but it helps to like get an idea for a few highlights to give depth to. Because there's gonna be some fog. We're gonna get some fog in here.
How much fog?
Enough to hide all of my mistakes.
Ooh! There's the fog of war.
Exactly. This is another thing that was a little weird, because like I wanted to have a fun. Again, the Pyramid Head, I mean, he's been around long enough that there's a few different versions of him. And I knew I wanted that kind of cross-hatchy great effect, but I didn't want to kill myself. So the halftone brush.
Shortcuts.
Yeah, the halftone brush really, it gave that just tone texture I wanted.
It's some good stuff.
Yeah. And this part here especially, it's just the classic. It's digital art. The colors don't need to be perfect. Just get something in there. You can change it later. Because I'm trying to make sure that it's all cohesive into like one color palette.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get there and I can get a good starting point, then I can kind of push it around and say, okay, let's make this a little more blue. But I'm not slapping it down as a completely different thing right off the bat, which I think is kind of what's saving me here.
Yeah.
and then just working on contrast between different parts. You know, if I want the knife and the loincloth to be the brightest, then everything else needs to be darker. You know, just making sure that it has that visual. As weird as it may be, it will be visually interesting, at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just gonna... I tried giving him eyes for a second. Don't worry, they don't come back. I realized my mistake. I learned. And here I'm just not gonna overdo the buildings. Again, just enough to add a little bit of scale, depth, and let it feel like there's a world. Mm-hmm. And then I ate lunch. But I was not gonna go nuts. I wasn't gonna add like actual buildings from the game or anything. And then we're gonna make the computer whir by just doing a lot of layers of fog. We're gonna have sky fog. We're gonna have foreground fog and midground fog. Which, I mean, it hides a lot of the hard work I did. But oh boy, is that fun. And using the mask tool made it so easy to be like, okay, I want to feel like he's stepping out of it. So let's erase the fog from the one leg.
Something in the mist.
Something in the mist. I mean, I feel like that's a good scene. Or a fun scene.
Though.
Oh,
yes.
Have no idea how to do it. So I tried some stuff. Killed it. Tried again.
I like that first attempt, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go back and fix it. I don't know. But, yeah. Again, just that whole... There's enough background there. You're like, oh, he's taller than a building. Oh, fuck. But, again, none of it is distracting from the image itself. It's all just setting mood and tone. You can barely even see the guy in the foreground, because, again, he's not the focus. But when you do look down, you're like, oh.
Oh, this is a big boy.
There's a big chonker. The chonkiest of Silent Hill monsters.
Very scary and chonky.
So yeah, that's Pyramid Head dressed up for Halloween as a mecha, I guess.
Yep.
Hope you guys like it. Feel free to comment, critique in the comments below. Suggest or request other characters or monsters you want to see dressed up for Halloween. We are working on some hitcam stuff. I'm hoping, cannot promise, but I'm hoping that by Halloween we can have a trailer for the next episode.
Hopefully, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. I want to have something out at least. So October should be fun. Hope you all like it. And yeah, just keep commenting below what you want to see next, or ideas, or whatever you want to do. Just talk about art and crazy stuff. Until then, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.